I wanted to talk about is the idea of an adaptive test. Now I'm going to show you a paper example of it. I had one digitally, couldn't export it over. But here's the basic idea. The basic idea is if you think about assessments, that what you have is, you have question 1 and question 2 and question 3. Now but the issue is that do each of these questions, 1, 2, and 3, do they address separate skills or the same skills? If they address separate skills, what if you made a little mistake on this skill? Or what if you know most of this skill, but you don't know the end, and so it looks like you don't know what you're talking about? Okay. Now, a way to get around this is by saying, oh, well, I'm going to have like a level 1 question, and then I'm going to have a level 2 question over the same skill. Then I'm going to have a level 3 question over that same skill. Okay. Now, what you have then is now you've tripled the size of your assessment, and you're trying to figure out, hey, do they know this? Do they not? Okay. So then what I came up with was an adaptive test model. And so what that is that's the idea of a branch. So what you do is you'd start at a baseline skill question, and depending on what you answered, whether or not you were right or wrong, then it would take you to either a more difficult question, or it would take you to a simpler question to make sure that you to see what you understand, or it would move you on to the next skill that they want to assess. Okay, so the idea then is that the second question would be different for multiple people. Maybe you needed that harder question, and after you got that harder question, let's move on to the next skill. See if you could take a harder question on that skill. If you got it wrong, well, let's just go down to the mid question on a new skill, and then if you got this right, are we going to try to do this, and so it's the idea of a branched assessment. And then so what that does is that allows you to have to get a really accurate picture of your own learning, and then also an accurate picture of how other people, for other people. And it values everybody's time, and it always has opportunity for growth. So, taking the same test over, you are showing that, oh, I've mastered this. And when before I didn't, and I was down here, now I did, and I'm up here. Okay, so now we can kind of imagine what that looks like digitally, but what if you had a physical test? What if you had a paper pencil test, or you wanted to kind of do something like a handout, or just kind of a way to gauge what people's comfort level is in the material? Well, this is an example in a math situation, but it works any places. So the idea is that you design a test which only has 3 or 4 questions. But what they can do is they can say, hey, this question group, this question strand, is all over the same skill. Now, how confident do you feel in this skill? If you feel really confident, you can try this one. If you don't feel as confident, maybe you'll try this one. Or maybe, you'll do this. Maybe you'll hedge your bets, and you'll do both of these. It's really up to you. But if, let's say, you say, okay, well, don't feel confident about this one, but oh, geez, I can totally do this next skill, and I feel confident about it. And they can pick their path and their comfort level. So what's great is that this tells the person and the person who needs to assess the individual, it tells them not only what they know, but what they feel comfortable in, what content they feel comfortable in, and it lets the person know, hey, maybe I don't know this. Maybe I don't know this skill as well as I need to, but I know this skill really well. Oh, okay. And that gives them agency to say, okay, so this is what I need to work on. It's a concrete way to kind of show, hey, this is what I know, this is what I don't know, this is what I need to work on, and this is what I don't need to work on as much. Okay? And so that's an example of how an adaptive test can be made, in paper. And then, of course, it's designed with the point view. The part of this designing the point values where, these aren't just this column here. Let me erase these so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But this column, this first column here, that I'm going to highlight, These not throwaway item questions. This is basic knowledge. So if you said, you know what, this is what I know, you still have shown that you understand the skills. Now, is it a developing point? Can you apply the skills? Could you show others the skills? We don't know. But this is where you're comfortable with. So I don't want you to think that, hey, and with the point values of each question would reflect that. But just choosing the lowest shows that you have opportunity for growth, but if you get them all right, that also shows that you understand the concept. And this is a good baseline and a good foundation for then, you didn't feel good about this one? Let's kind of use this as your growth plan. Let's move this up here. That's our goal for this. And then our next goal is, to move that up.